Hi everyone, Daniel Gannon here, and today I'm going to do a video that I don't usually do. Now, usually on my channel I show off like Thomas Wooden Railway models, but I'm going to do something different today. So today I'm going to do a toy review on not one, not two, but three toys. As you can see here, I have the Transformers figures of Fireman Sam, Postman Pat, and Bob the Builder. So, for those who don't know what they were three toys where Pat, Sam, and Bob transformed into things. Like, as you can see here, Sam is a fire engine. Bob is a drill, and he's the only one out of the three to not be a vehicle. And Pat is a post van. So yeah. And just like Thomas and Friends, Fireman Sam, Postman Pat, and Bob the Builder were all shows I used to watch during my childhood. So I am well aware of who these characters are. So I'm going to go through each and every one and transform them all. Alright then, so let's start off with Postman Pat. So as you can see here, he's a post van. Yep, rolls very nicely. He's got this thing on top where that's actually the top of his hat. And this is based on Pat's van from the SDS series, Special Delivery Service, and not his original Pat 1 van. So this is Pat 2. However, it's not the original Pat 2. The original Pat 2 was like a post bus that was later turned into a school bus. But yeah, this is the new Pat 2. And so yeah. That's all I can really say about this. So, let's get on with the transformation. So, to transform him, first you gotta press this button here, which I think is meant to represent a registration plate, and there we go, his head pops up. As you can see, his head is backwards, and so you just turn his head around like this. And just so you know, if you try to push his head down when it's in this direction, it doesn't work because of how long his nose is. If you look right here, this hole right there is actually meant for his nose, so his head has to go backwards when transforming him. And so yeah, that's something to point out. So yeah, his head pops up, and then you've got to lift this back part flap up like this. And then you pull these out, and these become his arms. So you just like pull them down, get his hands out like this. Fold down his hands like that. And then the bottom part, which becomes his legs. So you just pull them down like that. And then unclip them. Turn them round like this, and there you go. You've got Postman Pat in his robot mode. Just lift the camera up slightly so you can see him in his entirety. And here we go. Yeah, it does look kind of unusual. Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't really understand why these three particular characters have to be Transformers. I mean, it doesn't really have to do with Transformers franchise itself, but I guess it is a unique design and a creative idea. But yeah, his arms do look a bit strange, that he's got like robotic arms with human hands. It kind of looks like he's like in a mech suit where his actual body is inside here and his head is just sticking out. Yeah, it definitely looks like he's in some kind of mechanical robot mech suit or something. But yeah, that's all I can really say about Pat. So let's put him away for now. And then let's move on to the next character, which is Fireman Sam. So he transforms into Jupiter, although not the original 1987 version, but the CGI series version. As you can tell, because it's got like a different ladder right here. And he's got like the new logo there. And yeah, and this top part here is the top of his head. Kind of looks like a bell, but it does look unusual that there's just like a hole right there. Like if I could just quickly compare it to Pat, I'll just push his head down right here. I mean, at least with Pat, you know, it does fill up the hole a little bit, but not so much with Sam. So that's unusual. But yeah, that's all I can really say about Sam. So, enough rambling, time to transform him. But before I do, I've got to say, he is a bit heavier than Pat. So you got to push this button, which is his grill, and up pops his head. And unlike Pat, it doesn't matter which way you put his head. That his head can push down either way because he hasn't got a long nose like Pat. And then you fold out these parts right here, and there his arms right there. Lift them down like that. And then this right here becomes his legs. So he's got a very similar transformation towards Pat. Rotate his legs round like this. And lift the back flap down, and there we go. We have Fireman Sam in his robot mode. And yeah, he does look pretty strong. Definitely looks like he could be an Autobot. But yeah, I gotta say, he looks pretty strong. Excuse me. But yeah, he looks pretty good. But same thing with Pat. It does look strange that he's got like his hands sticking out of a robot arm. But yeah, that's Sam. And now we move on to the last of the three characters. And here is Bob the Builder. So, unlike the other two, he's not a vehicle. Instead, he's actually a tool. A drill, to be precise. And yeah, it doesn't actually work. It's not powered. It doesn't make sounds or anything. He's got a drill head at the end, which you can, like, rotate if you want to. But, yeah. It's kind of like a gun. I mean, it's like holding a gun, but it's actually a drill. And so, yeah, let's transform him then. So you just get this part right here, and that reveals his head. You just lift that down. So it kind of looks like he's sitting, which he basically is. So you just pull apart the handle, which becomes his legs. Pull them like that. And oh look, it looks like he's got no arms. But he does though. So you just pull the sides of the drill right here. Right, and then you lift that up, that out, and then fold his hands down like so. Do the same with the other. Pull it down. And there we go. Just adjust his shoulders right. Yeah, and here we go. This is Bob the Builder in his robot mode. And I gotta say, out of all three, this one's the more accurate looking towards the character he represents. because the other two look more like vehicles with parts of humans sticking out, but this one actually does look like Bob's body, like the overalls that Bob actually does wear. Yeah, it does represent that quite well. And yeah, having a look at his face, yeah, he looks a bit unimpressed, to say the least. And I will point out that Bob is definitely the rarest of the three, because out of all three of them, this was the only one I didn't get in a shop. I got this from eBay, but the other two were in a shop called Home Bargains. So Bob's so rare that he's hard to find in shops, so I ended up having to get him online. So, yeah, that's Bob right there. Okay, and then let's put him together with Sam and Pat for size comparisons. So here he is with Sam, and here he is with Pat. And here we go. Here's all three in one shot. So yeah, does look like a nice group shot there. So, my final thoughts on these three figures overall. I do have to question why these were made in the first place. I mean, what exactly do children's TV characters have to do with Transformers? It's kind of baffling to me as to why they would make these. But I suppose they are fun for the kids at the end of the day, and these are targeted towards children. So I guess that's something. But yeah, but despite the weird concept, I gotta admit they are quite good-looking toys. I mean, they may look like knockoffs, but well, they're not because they're officially licensed. Not as Transformers products, but as from their respective franchises. And these all come from the same company called Character, or Little Characters, as they're sometimes known as. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about these three. And I guess before I end this video, I should show you how to transform them back. Alright, so let's just move Bob aside so you don't get in the way. Same with Pat. Okay, so to transform Sam back, you just need to push his head back down, lift this part up, put his arms in like that, and then twist his legs round like so. Clip them together and push that down. And there we go. We have Sam back in his vehicle mode. Right, and then for Pat, you just need to twist his head around. Make sure you do that. Lift this part up. Get his arms. Fold his hands in like this. And then get his legs like that. Clip them together, push. Oh, it's a bit stuck. Oh, there we go. And then you've got to clip this down. And there we go. That's Pat. And then finally, Bob. So you got to. This part's a bit tricky. You got to fold his hands in. And make sure you get the hand in this hole right here so it pegs in properly. Like this. And do the same with the other hand. Yep, like that. Cover his head up with the drill part. And clip his legs together. And there you go. He's back in his drill mode. So, yeah. That's all I can really say about these three toys. And so yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this different type of video to what I usually do. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe. And that's all I can say, so thank you very much.